On the agenda today, I'm going to be turning these ingredients into cream cheese wontons. They are extremely easy to make. We're going to assemble the wontons, deep fry them, and then eat them with some bomb sweet chili sauce. You may need to take a trip to the grocery store. However, you won't need that many ingredients. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with some green onions, I'm taking 2 of them and I'm just going to wash the dirt off under some cool water. Once the green onions are washed, I'm going to dry them with some paper towels. And once they are dry, I'm going to cut off the root and start chopping the green onion up. I just enrolled myself into a cooking class online, so right now I'm learning how to do all the different knife cuttings, and in a month or so I'm going to be cutting like Gordon Ramsay, so y'all better watch out, just saying. The next thing we're going to be making is the cream cheese wonton filling. Now to do that, go to your grocery store or your pantry and grab these ingredients right now. First, 8 ounces of cream cheese. You do need it to be softened, so you can either leave the cream cheese out 20 to 30 minutes at room temperature or microwave it for about 15 seconds or a little bit longer, just until it's soft enough. Some wonton wrappers. I got these from Whole Foods, but I've also seen wonton wrappers sold at Vons and Target as well, and I'm sure other grocery stores have it. A half teaspoon of sugar. I'm using the pure cane sugar. A half teaspoon of onion powder. And the last thing you're going to need for the filling are those 2 green onions that we just cut. You can obviously add more ingredients to the filling. You can add soy sauce, different vegetables like carrots, all that, but this is all I'm going to be using. Once you got those ingredients ready, grab a bowl and let's combine everything together. So I'm going to start off with the cream cheese and I'm going to pop this into the bowl and mix it around just a bit. I'll add the half teaspoon of sugar, then the half teaspoon of onion powder, and then I'll add those green onions. So now we can mix all of this together, and I'm just going to mix it with the spoon. Now this step is totally optional, but I put this bowl in the fridge for a couple hours so the flavors would marinate and have a better flavor. If you have some extra spare time, I would say do this, but if you're ready to get going and eat, then you can just skip this step. Okay, so a couple hours later, I got a bowl and filled it up with some water. And now we're ready to wrap our wontons. Let's grab our cream cheese filling, the bowl of water, and we're gonna grab our wonton wrappers and let's get filling. So I'm gonna show you 3 different ways that I wrap the wontons. I am in no way an expert at them. I just make sure they are closed and sealed tightly. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to dip my finger in the water and wet all sides of the wrapper. Now the water acts as a glue because it keeps the wontons sealed and closed tight so that they don't fall apart when you begin to fry them. I'm going to add a spoonful of the filling to the middle, and to close it, I'm going to take the 2 opposite corners and stick them together. I'm going to take one of the sides and stick it to the top, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, pull it up and press all the edges together. No air bubbles, and making sure it's sealed very tight so no cream cheese will fall out. Alright, so this wonton looks pretty good, so I'm going to move on to the next wrapper. And this one is a bit easier, so let's wet all the sides of the wrapper again with water. And then I'm going to add a spoonful of filling to the middle. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see how I fold this up. So I'm gonna grab one of the corners of the wrapper and I'm gonna pull it to the opposite corner so it looks kind of like a triangle. Well, it does look like a triangle. And I'm gonna press down on the edges and close this very tightly. If any cream cheese falls out, I'm just gonna wipe it and make sure it all goes to the center of the wonton. I'm gonna take some water and wet one of these sides. And I'm gonna pull the other side, move it to the center of the wonton. And I'm going to do the same exact thing, but with the other side. And there we have it. Now moving on to the last wonton I'm going to show you how to make. This is the easiest one out of all of them. So first we're just going to wet all of the sides of the wonton with some water. And I'm going to add a spoonful of filling to the middle. And I'm just going to grab one of the corners of the wrapper and fold it to the other corner. Press the edges down and make sure it's secured tight, and we are done. So just keep making wontons until you run out of filling. Once you finish making them all, put them on a plate or a dish, and we are ready to fry them up. Alright, so now we are ready to fry the wontons up. So on my stove, I'm going to put a baking sheet along with some paper towels and a cooling rack on the top. This is where I'm going to put the wontons once I finish frying them. Next, I'm going to grab a frying pan and I'm going to add some vegetable oil to it. I used a good amount of oil. You can use whatever frying oil you want to use, canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever. And I'm going to turn the heat on medium to high heat. And I'm going to let this heat up for a bit. And once I've let it heat up, I'm going to start adding my wontons in. I'm going to use my frying strainer tool to put the wontons in the oil. And once I got those in, I'm going to let them sit in there for a couple minutes until they are golden brown. Once the wontons are golden brown, I'm taking them out of the oil and I'm just shaking the excess oil off of them. And I'm going to put them onto the cooling rack. And I'm just going to keep doing that for each wonton. Alright, so I'm just grabbing the last two wontons and putting it on the cooling rack. And now we got our last couple wontons to go. I'm going to do the same thing for these wontons, drop them in the pan and let them cook for a couple minutes. And I flipped these ones so both of the sides could get crispy and delicious. So I just waited a couple minutes for the other side to cook as well. Alright, so these are looking pretty damn good. So I'm going to take them out, shake them a bit to get some of the excess oil off, and put them on the cooling rack. Alright, we ready to eat. So you are going to need some dipping sauce for them. This is my favorite sauce to eat them with. This is a sweet red chili sauce and it is amazing. You can also use a sweet and sour sauce or a plum sauce, whatever is your favorite. and we are ready to dish it up. I highly recommend eating this immediately when they are hot because they're just 10 times more delicious and crispy when they are hot. You are guaranteed to eat more than 5, maybe 10. Once I have one, I literally cannot stop. They are so good. I might even eat all of them. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and give these wontons a taste. They are delicious. Subscribe to see new videos. I will talk to you all next week. As always, it's been real. Peace out.